And UAE officials say 6 people are injured near Abu Dhabi after the country's defense system successfully intercepted Iranian drones. Now concerns growing among other parts of the region as Iran increases its attacks on Gulf nations. Americans Dupuy and Jan Fluitt-Dupuy lived in Abu Dhabi for 4 years and were visiting when the war broke out. And they're here now for more. Jan, Eddie, thank you for coming on. I'm sorry with what you're dealing with now. Can you tell me what it's like in Abu Dhabi?
Well, at the moment, we just had another wave of attacks, actually. Just in the last 10 minutes, we've had about 3 warnings that come over our phone. It's a very loud warning system, but it seems to be passing at the moment. But generally speaking, it's been fairly pleasant. Abu Dhabi is a safe place. They have excellent anti-missile systems to catch the missiles and neutralize them. So we haven't felt too afraid to be here.
Have you seen those defense systems in action?
We've heard them. We hear the booms.
Yeah, you don't really see them that much unless you're, at the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the right time. And but you hear the launching of the missiles because they're coming out at supersonic speed, and you hear a big boom. And often when there's several big booms, you know that there's a few missiles or drones coming in.
How are you trying to get back to the U.S. now?
Well, we saw the posting on X that we were to call the number if we wished to be repatriated, if we needed the State Department's help. And when we called that number, we absolutely got a just very unhelpful response. It was really discouraging. They basically said that they would have taken the message down and that it was misinformation. We did call that number back today and got different information. Actually, we got somebody who was really very sympathetic to our plight. And of course, we followed all the advice that is posted on social media platforms. And so we are registered now and on a list for the crisis intake form. And we hope to be on a flight soon.
And what are the airlines telling you as you're trying to get commercial flights out?
Well, we had a hard time getting through to the airlines. First of all, we tried to call multiple times. We had our children in the United States trying to call for us. They sat waiting for a couple of hours on hold. Just last night, we were able to get through after waiting about an hour and a half on hold. And we got a flight to New York for next Tuesday. So that's good news.
We're booked.
Yeah, we're booked.
But
yeah.
He did say it might be canceled.
It might be canceled, especially after a wave of attacks like we just had. So we don't know.
Crossed for you. How do you feel now, and what's your biggest concern right now?
Well, we really just want to get home. We are disappointed to a certain degree in the government, especially at the beginning, because it seemed like there wasn't a whole lot of planning about what they would do with the people. It sounded like the attack was well thought out, in Iran, but the ramifications of the attack and the consequences of the attack, I don't think was very well thought through for people like us.
What's your backup plan if you can't get a flight soon?
Well, the Emiratis have been most gracious. They have allowed us to stay in our hotel on their dime. They're feeding us 3 meals a day. They're doing our laundry for us. So we feel very fortunate to be here because we've lived here before. We have friends in the area. But of course, our kids are very worried, and we've got family and friends who, are texting us constantly to make sure that we're okay. We're safe, we're comfortable, but very unsettled. And it's been very frustrating to try and get out of the situation.
And we did reach out to the State Department for comment on the claim that the number they said to call was misinformation. They say the outdated voice message was run by a third party and has been fixed to correctly reflect the current guidance. So, Jan and Eddie, I'm sorry for that confusion to you, but we're glad at least you were able to clear it up. I'm glad you were able to get a flight, and all fingers crossed that it does not get canceled. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for having us.
We appreciate you coming on.